right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I want to introduce my man, Andre Perry.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to let him tell you a little bit about himself because he's got a lot to tell. This is a very important man, done a lot of important things for the United States, and I'm going to let him take it over.
All right. I'm out here visiting actually to Texas. I'm visiting my daughter, and while we were out here, this gentleman was so kind to invite us over pre-Christmas for a wonderful affair with his family, who I've gotten to know Joe and his
My mom.
mom. So we were talking, and he said he does podcasts. So that's why we're here today. This podcast is about veterans and maybe veterans benefits, and more specifically, we have a problem in the United States that's not being addressed. That problem is we have over around 20 to 22 veterans every day committing suicide.
Wow. Wow.
So we got a problem, and I'm in the American Legion, Vice Commander for American Legion Post 111 in Rocky Mount, Virginia. I am the quartermaster for the VFW Post 10840 in Pinhook in Virginia, and I'm a member of the DAV. These three organizations are out here to help serve our veterans, and one of the things that we're doing now, because talking about a problem is one thing. If you're not doing anything, it doesn't make any difference.
Solutions.
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 Solutions have to be action oriented, not talking
Right.
oriented. So we not only want to talk about this problem today, the problem of veteran suicide, but I want to help the community out there understand that they can help us. They can help us with this problem because we're trying to do it among ourselves. We can't do it.
Right. Right.
And here's the reason why. A lot of veterans that have these kind of problems, they will not come out to our seminars. They won't talk to the people that can help them. They don't ask for help.
Why do you think that is?
It's part of this problem. This is part of the symptoms of the problem. So was trying to analyze how do we deal with this? We deal with this by educating the public who comes in contact with veterans that have these issues, and I have kind of a list of issues here that you might notice as a person. You said, I met this guy, he's a veteran, and he was kind of acting a little secluded. He was not very conversational. Maybe, here's some things that we're talking about, emotional things. Veterans who express feelings of being trapped, worthless, negative towards themselves. That's basically insecure. Maybe you're in a setting and they're extremely quiet, laid back. In other words, you notice that there's stress
Right. Right.
there.
Right.
That's what you're looking at. So when you see those kind of behaviors, and if there's somebody in your family, you notice they've gotten a little bit withdrawn, kind of non-conversational. You just notice
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
not right. Well, then you might have a veteran there who's got the kind of symptoms and problems that lead
Right.
to this kind of thing, this suicide.
Okay, so this information is letting people be able to recognize someone who may have an issue with
Yes.
depression or post-military syndrome, something like that. Okay, okay.
And in the seminars that we're doing, we're inviting professionals, to psychologists and people who treat these folks, and asking them, okay, you have people coming to you, what should we be looking for?
Right.
And these are some of the things
Gotcha.
that you should be looking for.
Right.
And so we want the general public to understand, if you see somebody, now, actually, this goes beyond veterans.
Right, right. Anybody who might have psychological depression, dealing with
Because
depression.
if you look at the total suicide,
Right.
it's really worse,
Right,
much
right,
worse.
right.
I'm a veteran, and I'm interested in helping my fellow comrades.
Right,
Live
right,
life
right.
more fully and more successful. And if they need help, the organizations that I mentioned, American Legion, and you American Legion folks out there, you VFW folks and DAV folks, What I'm queuing you up to do is get busy
Right.
in your community
Right.
to put on programs
Right.
and information meetings or whatever you want to call them
Right.
to help educate the public,
Right.
not just other veterans, the public to these kinds of behaviors, physical indicators, emotional indicators that will help identify people who will not ask for help. They will not be wearing a hat like me.
Right.
Because, see, the state of mind they're in is not one where they feel comfortable
Right.
with that. They want to back up. They're pulling away. You know, giving up your life is that's, to me, it would be a difficult thing.
Right. Yeah. Your personality, man, is top notch. Your personality is top notch. You love people. You love to talk, and just what you're doing today, giving this information to help people get through something that they may be struggling with.
And I'm also
Man, it's beautiful.
You queuing you up too.
It's beautiful.
Because see, you know what? Get a hold of this man and let him help you get this information. Just like I'm out here visiting, but I don't mind doing work wherever I go.
Yeah, that's so funny. So when he mentioned he saw the equipment. He goes, "Man, you do a podcast?" I said, "Yeah, I'm still trying to find my lane. You know, which way I want to go." And he said, "Well, what's your lane? Why don't you know your lane? How about helping people, get people that are doing certain things, get their information out?" And I like that you re-motivated me, reinvigorated me to get going again.
And here you are.
And here I am. So yeah, your personality, you're a winner. You're obviously a leader.
Well, I tell you what, the other thing is that I was wanting to encourage not only you, but since you're doing this podcast, if you have a new organization in this community, anywhere in this geographical area, that's helping the community,
Right.
contact Travis and say, I have something that I'm doing that's helping the community.
Right.
And I'm sure you'll reach out and help them
Right.
get that word out. Because
Right.
I used to do a program out down in Iowa called Community Insights.
Okay.
I would go out into the community and I would look for organizations that were doing good things, but nobody knew anything about it.
Right.
Just a few people.
Right.
So I would say, come on, let's go talk about your program. And I was working with the what do you call it? Public access
Okay. Yeah.
program. And I'm sure they might probably have some independent public access
Yeah.
TV stations.
I'm sure like PBS type. Yeah.
I actually am president of a foundation right now that supports a public access station
Okay.
in Rocky Mount, Virginia.
Okay.
And our whole effort is we invite good organizations, usually nonprofits,
Right.
but we do allow for-profit organizations just getting started that
Okay.
have something really good. Come on in and talk about it.
Yeah.
We can't let you do that, all the time.
Right.
But if you're a startup and
Yeah.
it's something good that's helping the community,
Right.
come on in and talk
love
about
it.
it. So people, so here's the ideas that you can use,
Right.
and to find your place.
Yeah.
But if you just help some of these really good organizations right around here doing good things in the community, if you can just help them get their word out
Right.
to the public
Right.
about their good thing
Right.
that they're doing,
Right.
that'll be a great.
Well, tell me a little bit about yourself. I know you were in the Air Force.
I was in the Air Force 1968 through 74, so I hit it right at the. Well, they tried to draft me anyway,
Okay.
but I decided I'm making this decision, not you.
Right.
So that's how I ended up in the Air Force.
Okay.
I chose the Air Force, and then after I got in the Air Force, they guided me to electronics, which was kind of, it wasn't totally foreign to me, but I was not in I was kind of raised to go into academia,
Okay.
and mostly music, to tell you the
Yeah.
truth. My family was pushing me towards music, but I got into electronics, best thing I ever did. I got in at a time when you had digital electronics rising and analog electronics in existence at that time. That's when we had
Analog, yeah.
transistors that were that big.
Yeah.
Now you can't even see the transistor.
right,
It's
right.
embedded into
Right.
some chip
Yeah.
thing or
Yeah.
something. So I got into the Air Force and went into electronics field worked in Intel ultimately, and ended up actually being on a crew member. I fixed the electronics, and the other people did their work, and traveled mostly in the Far East. I spent most of my time in
Yeah.
the Far East, but I've done a little bit of European travel as well in my job, along with spent a little time flying around Cuba actually
Okay.
at one time.
Okay.
But I tell you what, any young people out there, here's another tip. If you're out there and you're just getting out of high school, even college, to tell you the honest truth, you can't quite find what you want. Consider the military service. Now, I'm going to promote Air Force, but the Navy, all of you look at all of them, but you will find this about the military. They're going to train you up. You will get experience in whatever they trained you up in.
Right.
So you're going to get training, and this is good stuff. I mean, the type of stuff you get at college and graduate level. You're going to get put out into a situation where you have to use it. So you're going to develop the skill.
Right.
And so you're going to be prepared whether you stay in or not.
Right.
Like I did. Did 6.5. I came out, and because I had electronic skills, I had I gained quality assurance knowledge and that type thing. So when I
Confidence.
got out,
Yeah.
I went right into the industry and started looking around. I said, "This is what I can do. What can you offer me?" And Rockwell Collins today, I think it's still called Rockwell Collins, but it was Collins Radio in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, that I first joined and became Rockwell Collins, producing communication systems for all branches of the military and the U.S. government. I went to work with those people, and I tell you what, I learned something every day. Every day, because it was, to me, it was an electronic paradise.
Yeah.
And I spent 8 years working for the company, left the company for a little while, thought I'd try real estate, but real estate is it's too up
Yeah,
and down.
yeah.
I ended up coming back working now for the Defense Logistics Agency
Okay.
as a quality assurance contract compliance person at the same plant, Rockwell Collins, that I used to work with.
Wow.
So I spent 16 years in that sector working with military contracts, either at first on production side, then on the contract side, quality assurance side on the other. So I've had this wonderful, great opportunity to work with JTIDS, Joint Tactical Integrated Digital Systems, the GPS system in its infancy. I saw the initial, the Rocketdyne division of Collins put up 16 satellites and the plant that I worked at had the contract to build the first 52 user systems for that contract. For cars, trucks, planes, all kind of vehicles and aircraft, all that stuff. And I really loved working on stuff.
So with you having such a wealth of knowledge, it's obvious what the military done for you.
Oh, yes.
Specifically. What do you think happened with the veterans who didn't have your kind of success? Went to the military, served, got out. Where do you think the ball was dropped with some of these other individuals when you have success stories like yours?
Well, it's a state of mind.
Okay.
When I got out of the military, I got out on purpose.
Okay.
I was looking, how do I get to the next level in my life?
Okay.
One of my mentors, and I progressed, I was an E5. I had just gotten certified for my E7, months before I got out. But they pushed me to say, you need to go ahead and get all this, training done. And I did complete it. But if I had stayed in, I was moving towards E9, Chief Master Sergeant.
Okay.
Because I had mentors that were helping me understand
That's very
here's
important.
the path.
That's right.
So maybe some of the guys that have gotten out, and it also depends on your training. I've been in an exciting, I call it an exciting career field.
Right.
I've been in electronics because I kind of saw. Once I got in, I understood that I had learned not only analog electronics but digital
So
electronics.
you remember the binary when all of this,
Yeah, see,
all of this took place.
Now, a lot of people, I've told people about this. I had a teacher in high school. I don't know why she taught us this, and I'll ask you this question. Have you ever studied the hexadecimal number system?
No.
I said this at I speak a lot at schools and stuff like that, trying to encourage kids, go to military if you can't figure out where you want to go. And I was doing hexadecimal, and I saw this principal, or actually he was a superintendent. I know he was on Google. What is that? What is that? Make sure they're teaching that.
Right.
But that teacher teaching us that, this is like in the 60s. I mean, I don't even know that we as students understood what she was even teaching.
Right, right.
But here's how it came to roost.
Okay.
I'm in an electronics class down at Keesler Air Force Base. That's where I did my initial electronics training. Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi, Mississippi. I'm sitting in class, and our teacher says, you know what, now we've got to get to the very basis. We got to get a ground basis for electronics, the principles, and especially we're going to move into digital electronics. One of the basics of a digital electronics is the hexadecimal number system. And I'm thinking, I already know that. The rest of the guys in that class, I might have been the only one in there.
Right.
The rest of the guys in that class, they were like, what the hell is
So
that?
is that, and I know you're going to get to, is that kin to the binary system?
It's the binary system is a base 10. This is a base 16.
Okay. Okay.
So it's got more letters. So
Yeah, yeah.
You go beyond the 1 through 9, and you start using alphabets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I got you.
It's a little unique.
Okay.
And so when Mrs. Reeves taught us this system, I mean, we didn't have a clue what she was teaching. We just knew, hey, it's what she's teaching. We got to learn it.
Right.
I had not a clue, but that day, it came like, wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
She taught us something that went out in, that would have been probably 8 or 9, well, not 8, so it was in 19. So probably 5 years later,
Okay.
I found out she was teaching us something that goes out into the future of
Right.
digital electronics.
Right.
And I'm sure she must have gone to some probably conference or something
Right.
like that where they were talking about this stuff. And she incorporated it in a class. But I have not run into a whole lot of
No, 'cause I never heard it, and I'm into electronics. And,
hexadecimal numbers.
yeah, and I never heard of that.
And it is the very basis for digital electronics and how they do coding.
Right.
What we call binary code in there, which is what we call zeros
Yeah,
and
ones and zeros, yeah.
And
it's
those
unlimited combinations. You can have
That's right.
zeros. It's literally unlimited. Yeah.
That's why you needed that number system. The decimal system is not
Right.
broad enough to cover that. So that's how things like that is how you cannot find exactly where you want to go beyond high school. You haven't clearly identified a career. One thing you can do is go talk to your recruiters and see if they've got something for you.
Right. For you as
They're
an
not
individual.
forcing you to join. I
Yeah.
had to join quick.
Yeah.
Where now you got time to think about this
Right.
and consider. They'll give you an aptitude test so that it helps you point you into some potential
Yeah.
areas that you may not even realize. I
Gotcha.
didn't realize I had this high aptitude
Right.
in electronics. But see, I like mathematics.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's one of the key
Yes.
integers.
Yeah.
That is, I'm mathematics. I really
Yeah.
like mathematics and physics.
Oh,
were
I
kind of
love
my things.
physics.
I
That's-
love
yeah,
physics.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what
Chemistry is not
governs
my-
the world. That's what governs the planet, the universe. Physics. Yeah.
Yeah. The chemistry is just not my thing.
Yeah. You don't like chemistry?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's to me, it's remembering a whole bunch of names.
Right.
But physics, I like.
Yeah.
You got some unusual names, but you have an explanation,
Yes,
detail
yes.
on what it does, and
Yeah.
it usually relates to something that we're doing.
Absolutely.
we never even thought about. Like
Applicable.
the
Yeah.
physics of the body.
Yes. Yes. The universe. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the things that kind of led me to get into the military, and I'm so glad I did because it gave me a base for a career after. Plus, I ended up with a top secret crypto security clearance, which I've used quite a few times.
Right.
I've done a little homeland security work, but I'm not going to go into all that
Yeah.
stuff. But clearly it set the tone for me to have a basis of a career, not only with the knowledge to get jobs, but I had experience
Right,
in
right.
the area. And so that's, I think, the beauty of being in the military is you not only get this fantastic training, if you help let them help steer you that way, and you'll also get experience. So you're coming out in the commercial job market with experience and knowledge.
Do you think some of the people who went in who have these issues, these depression issues, these suicidal issues, do you think they are because when they went into the military, they didn't have a defined journey, what they wanted to do? So when they did their 4 or 5, whatever years they done, they came out without that thing steering or spearheading them into the direction like you did.
Well, here's the blessing that I had. I got to go into the military. I got into the Air Force. A lot of people dream about going in the Air Force and flying. I wasn't a pilot, but I've flown pretty close to 1,000 miles. I mean, 1,000 hours of missions.
Okay.
300 of them were in combat zones. So I've flown around Hanoi while they B-52s were bombing them.
Right.
You don't even think you were young. So I remember being in Thailand one time, and I'm just contemplating, wow, everybody on this crew is less than 25 or 26 years old. We're all real young,
Yeah.
and we've let this government tell us, go out there and fly these missions in combat and let them shoot at you.
Right, right.
But see, a lot of my brothers ended up in other parts of the military. What they went through can't be described. There is a reason why a lot of guys end up in, it's a key word, everybody, PTSD.
Right.
PTSD it happens a lot with our veterans who had to do the down and dirty.
Right. Right.
The people who actually had to take another person's life. We take that too casually in this country. We were just looking at TV stuff the other night, and I was thinking, you know, I don't allow myself to watch a lot of movies. I don't allow myself to watch a lot of the TV shows everybody watches.
Because it desensitizes you.
FBI, I'm talking against them so much, but I will not watch those. I will watch them with somebody else because I kind of have an intuitive mind,
Right.
figuring out things.
Right.
But other than that, don't watch stuff like that because I have this thing that whatever you let into your consciousness, if you do it too much, it becomes you. It's just like we are consuming these drinks. This tea will become Andre within the hour.
Right. Right.
All that wonderful food
Right.
that we ate
Right.
over here became Andre.
Right.
It is already metabolized
Right.
into my metabolism. We, as physical bodies, are a collection of everything that we absorb. And we kind of know that physically because we eat.
But this right here.
But they don't understand that whatever you're consuming on this tube,
Right.
every TV programs, those sitcoms,
Right.
those soap operas,
Right.
you're consuming all this,
That's right.
and it will affect your psyche.
And it's the whole notion of programming. A television program is programming you. Yeah.
It's a programming
You. Yeah.
If you
To think and move in the direction they want you to think and move in. Yeah.
or similar, because
Yeah.
soap operas.
Yeah.
I mean, my mom was hooked on that stuff.
And my grandma was too. Yeah. Every day.
My dad even retired
Oh.
from the post office after 39 years, sitting back in the lazyboard watching those soap operas.
Huh.
And when he started talking to him, why you doing that? What you doing all that? And I thought, he's gone too far.
Yeah. They got him. They got him.
But not gonna get me.
Right.
No, I don't. I am very conscious of whatever you bring into your consciousness becomes you. So the things that I try to bring consistently are the things that bring me love and compassion
I love it.
understanding,
love it.
a connection, being able to understand people even that I may not even like or
Yeah.
whatever, but if I can understand them better,
Yeah.
and
You'll
that-
understand why they move and act.
why
this
they
way.
do what they do.
Right.
But
Right.
this PTSD, a lot of it is a result of
What
the
they've seen and
triggers
done.
that they got. When you've been put in the situations, now here's an example of PTSD. We in our American Legion brought the moving wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Vietnam wall that's in Washington, D.C. They have what they call moving walls.
Okay.
These are replicas of that wall.
Gotcha.
And we brought that to our location in Rocky Mount, Virginia. The community was fantastic to support us. And one of the most fantastic things that happened as a result of bringing that wall to our community, because we offered it up free to our community, was we were able to get the school system, the fantastic school system there in our Franklin County, Franklin County school systems and in the Rocky Mount, Virginia area. That school system allowed us to let the kids come out and have an experience with us. So we had typically 200 or 400 kids per session.
Wow.
We ended up with over 2,000 kids that actually came to visit us out
Wow.
at the wall in our little amphitheater that we created there. The wall's over here, and we got this big sheltered area that belonged to the county anyway. And they all came under this shelter, and our veterans told stories. There were stories told that I had never even heard them tell me in our little, because we get together, guys like to tell stories.
Right. Right.
So, but they told stories that I had never even heard. But what impressed me most about it was how the kids, that something was going on because they were so quiet. Not a pin. You could not hear a pin drop.
Absolutely captivated them.
They listened
yeah.
with intensity and respect.
Right.
And it was a beautiful experience for us. We'll be bringing that wall back one of these days, but you know we excited other areas to do it too. So I like to share this experience,
right.
Because I'm thinking about looking at the American Legion post in Salem, Virginia, where I live, and getting them to bring the wall there. They have a beautiful place for it, and trying to get the same thing, get the
Right.
schools. I know the superintendent there,
Right.
so I say, listen, let your kids come and have this experience with our veterans. It's good for the veterans,
Right.
and it's really good for the
Yeah.
kids. They get an insight,
Yeah.
and those insights, I mean, they're so deep. That's why, and being able to do that for those veterans is why their PTSD hasn't consumed them. It's the guys that have not been able to get it.
No outlet. No. Yeah.
Outlet
Yeah.
to get that out of your system.
Yes.
And when you don't replace it, here's why the input is so important.
Right.
When you do not replace that experience, where, I mean, they're so horrible, I can't even begin to tell you how bad it is. But when you can't replace that experience with something
Yeah.
better, an experience with your family or experience with your friends, and that's what binds these. You notice these veterans. One of the reasons they are so tight with each other, when you've been through what they've been
Right,
through,
right.
Oh yeah,
They have a
that's
mutual
your brother
understanding. Yeah.
for
yeah.
life.
Absolutely.
After
Absolutely.
that, I'm
yeah.
telling you, man,
Yeah.
that is your brother. But
Yeah.
see, it happens out here too. I saw the same thing happen when COVID came in hospitals, when nurses and doctors and all the people had to deal with. I mean, that was a huge crisis.
Oh yeah.
That's similar to
Yeah.
what war is about.
Yeah.
It wasn't as violent in the
Right.
outside,
But
but
psychologically, it's,
psychologically it was just as violent, and I can imagine a doctor just seeing so many people. I mean, they want to save lives,
Right.
And when you're helplessly in a situation,
Yeah, right. Right.
and the nurses, it was just excruciating. I could feel their pain
Right.
as well. But that's PTSD and police, and a lot of police and EMTs. You fire, right?
Yeah.
You worked in the fire department. I'm sure you've had some pretty
Yeah, you see
dramatic
some stuff. Yeah, yeah.
experiences.
We have a program similar where they will take us and give us the mental help that we need. We have that as well because it's needed. Because when you see that kind of stuff, it'll mess you up over time.
And
Yeah.
see,
It's
so
cumulative.
you've actually had a similar experience, just in a different sector, being in the fire department. Because
Well, we're paramilitary.
you
we're
don't go out for
same thing.
parties; you go out
Yeah.
for the worst
Yeah.
of the worst.
Yeah, yeah.
See, but so you can have PTSD, and so that's why PTSD from veterans, it's a hard thing to shake if you don't get into the right environment
Right.
after the military.
Right, right.
You know, and you don't have the right family support. You don't have people around you to give you experiences that replace what you have experienced.
Yes.
And that's going to pull you into that funk.
And it's funny you say that because that's something that I'm kind of dealing with my transition out of the fire department. Fire department is camaraderie, it's brotherhood, it's a frat.
It is.
It's like a frat.
tight.
We clowning, we doing all these fun things, and to go from having all of that to not having all of that, you have to find a replacement. Luckily for me, I got lots of family,
Right.
so that helps me.
Yes.
But I can still feel the struggle of having all these guys around to, it's me and my dog until my wife gets home.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I did exactly what you're saying. So imagine not having my family and my friends, what it would be like with some of these veterans who may not
So
have
that means even in your own profession,
Right.
there might be people who have not made a good transition
Right.
into that retirement.
Exactly.
You know what I've told my dad is, he used to tell us when we were growing up, you go out and get a job. And so here we are. He's retired now. He's in his early 70s. And he's just sitting around. He didn't adapt well.
Right.
And he died at 78. And I tell people right now, he died from boredom
Right.
because he couldn't. He was a member of the church, but he worked all the time, so he was just a Sunday type of person. But you got to find, like, what you're saying. That is a real key thing right, now. You might even want to do a podcast with some of your other brothers,
Right. Right.
Because this is important.
Yeah. It is.
that
It is.
You have a way to transition from being with this group of people. And I
Right.
always told my dad, you probably shouldn't have retired.
Right.
Because he lost something when he lost, when he was working for the post office.
Yeah.
He's got this really big group of friends. He doesn't see them every day.
Right.
Yeah, he kind of fell into a funk.
Yeah. For me, I'm lucky that I have the, I DJ pretty much every week. I'm doing some gig.
Okay.
If I didn't have that, I don't know what I would be doing, be honest with you. But that keeps me busy. During the week, I'm preparing for each show. So that keeps me kind of busy. But it's still not the same thing as having the human interaction.
Yeah.
We all need that. That's why solitary confinement is not healthy for people. They have to let them out. So,
Here's another outlet for you. I'm also in the Lions Club.
okay.
I'm also a Rotarian.
Okay.
So in addition to my military organizations, there's some brotherhood there, right? And I'm sure don't you have some kind of firemen's association thing, So be a part of that, maybe initially just to kind of check it out and see where you fit.
Right.
But the other things you can do is Lions Club. Lions clubs are dedicated to doing service in the community. And so there's another outlet. And to tell you the truth, there's not enough of us in the Lions Club.
Right. Right.
I'm telling you, there's just not.
Right.
I was a district governor I spent 6 years, and mostly because I have an uncle who helped start a club in Roanoke, Virginia, the Roanoke Valley Breakfast Lions Club in 1977.
Okay.
And I'm also scouting. I forgot to mention.
Okay.
Scouting, we got the national office right here. I've been up here for training.
Okay.
Because I was professional as well with at that time, Boy Scouts of America. Today, Scouting America.
Okay.
Greatest program for youth there is. There, hands down. Hands down.
Okay. Okay.
My 3-minute elevator speech about that is the mission of scouting tells you everything about what scouting is and why it's lasted so long and why it will continue. The mission of scouting is to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetime, underline, by instilling in them the core values of the Scout Oath and the Scout Law. On my honor, I do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. That's the oath. Think about that. What
Yeah,
that
yeah.
says
Universal.
about what I'm going to do.
Yeah, yeah.
With myself.
Yeah.
A scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. I've got 12 core values that I live by. See, that's what scouting does.
Yeah.
If you could even somehow contact their local leaders, I got a brother here right now. If I got a bit of call him, he's a retired scouter here.
Yeah.
But if you could even help scouting get back, because we've
Yeah.
lost a lot of
Yeah.
membership. The sports is just overwhelming us
Yeah.
because everybody's saying, I want to be a
Yeah, and social media in general, yeah. So many
You know what?
distractors.
everybody that gets into scouting, and now girls too, has an opportunity to be the superstar.
Okay.
Everybody, if you get in scouting, you can be an Eagle Scout. Being an Eagle Scout is that you don't have to get quite that far in order to be successful.
Right.
I was right before Eagle Scout, a Life Scout, and the only reason I'm only went that far is back when I was in scouting, you had to have a life-saving MERD badge in order to become an Eagle Scout. Where I lived, it was Jim Crow, Salem, Virginia. Jim Crow. We had segregated schools. We could not go to the local Y. We couldn't go to the local park. And all these places where you would get the physical training you needed to swim a mile. I could
Swim a
do all that other
mile?
stuff. Yeah, you got to swim a mile to be a life scout.
Wow.
Swim 1 mile.
I can't even imagine swimming 1 mile. And I was on the dive team when
Oh,
I was
really?
in Oldham. I was a member of the dive team.
Oh.
And I couldn't imagine swimming a whole mile.
Being
We had to tread water to be accepted onto the team. You had to tread water for 5 minutes.
right.
And that was a hard task.
I've done that. I've done the part.
I couldn't float.
To get your swimming merit badge. So and I learned how to swim because of scouting. Because the swimming merit badge, you got to do 5 minutes of that, and you got to do certain strokes.
Yep, yep.
And so that's how you. But to get that life-saving merit badge, so you can save somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to swim. So you got to train for that.
Yeah.
As you-
Like anything else.
Anything else, you got to train. We lived in Jim Crow area. I couldn't do that, so I didn't get the. That
you-
I had 32 merit badges, so I was prepared in everything else, but not that area.
So you went into the military in 1968. I was born in 1969. The day that man landed on the moon. That day, 1969, July 20th. What were you doing? Because you were in the military.
Right.
What were you doing and where were you at that time? And
Oh.
did you watch it? Did you watch it on TV?
Oh, absolutely. When that happened, I had just gotten in. Of course, I did my initial training right down here in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
Lackland Air Force Base.
Okay.
And left Lackland early in the morning and took a bus over to Biloxi, Mississippi. And I spent the next 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it was, doing training in electronics and stuff like that. Did my first duty station I stayed in Texas, Dyess Air Force Base
Okay.
in Abilene, Texas. That's where I met my first wife. That's her mother.
Right.
Went from there to San Angelo, Texas. That's where I started getting specialized training in the career field I ended up with. So I was in Texas for quite a while.
Yeah.
And ultimately ended up at Yokota Air Force Base in Japan.
Oh, wow.
And once I got off this continent, it would look like I wasn't going to be coming back. for
Right,
quite a
right,
long
right,
time.
right.
In fact, I never was stationed back here until I let the Air Force know that I was not going to continue. I wanted to get out of the program I was in and just do electronics.
Gotcha.
And they wouldn't allow me to do it. They'd invested a lot of money in my security clearance, all that stuff.
Right, right.
They didn't want to do that. I said, fine. And then I'm just going to have to get out. Of course, that was a great thing because I went for another great place.
Right, exactly.
With Rockwell and
Yeah.
got to do the GPS, JTED system. I actually was the inspector for the ILS system on Spaceship Columbia.
Oh, wow.
Because Rockwell had the contract to do that instrument for Spaceship Columbia. And they needed a person out of that's when I was working for the government, Defense Contracts Government then. And they needed a person to get NASA qualified, they called it, and then go work that project until its completion. And I was quite adventurous.
So
I
what
did.
was significant, and I know you're going to know this, in 1986?
19,
You mentioned Columbia.
right.
So
Now,
I know you know it. What was significant?
See, so when I went into the military, it was all about training. Then I go out into the field. 86.
What happened? There was an event.
1986, I would have been, we're still working for the government Defense Contracts Administrative Services in 1986. Yeah, because I started there in 1980, working at the Rockwell plant, and I was working for that. Let's see, was that? Yeah, working for that agency at the time. So I had actually the GPS contract. But see, most people don't understand these big contracts.
Right.
Like this ship that they just announced they're going to be building these ships.
Uh-huh.
You know what? It usually takes about 4 or 5 years for the initial planning and development.
Are you talking about the new ship like you had the Columbia Challenger? The what is it called?
Yeah,
Artemis. Artemis.
All those things take years to
Yeah.
develop. I remember getting into the GPS contract and find out they'd already done planning for 4 or 5 years, and then I got into it, and to get it to completion, then you got to build the units, you got to have them test them, you got to send them out.
Oh, yeah.
That takes years.
Yeah.
To do.
Yeah.
It took 7 years to get the first units out
Yeah.
to the field so people could check them out and see how they work.
So
in '86, I was still working that kind.
so do you the event I was referring to was the space shuttle blowing up in 1986.
Yeah. See, I understood that.
Oh, was that 80? Yeah, it was 86. It was 86.
See,
What did you think about that? Was you were not in the military, but you were part of that
I
whole
was
thing?
working in the commercial industry. And I
Yeah,
was
so what did you
NASA
think about that when that
certified, and
happened?
So I had seen Spaceship Columbia go, and I tell you, that was a quality assurance failure.
Oh yeah. I know. I've watched the history on it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because some quality assurance people knew those seals were having a problem
In
and
cold.
needed correction.
Yes.
What people don't know, the backstory to that is there was a president at the time who wanted to highlight the accomplishments of the space program. That's why they sent the teachers.
Yeah.
He wanted to highlight that. They set a date that they wanted to do it. All right? They're moving towards a date. They're ready. And on that day, they knew the SEALs had a problem. Somebody made a decision, but the president wants this to happen today.
Today.
They should not have done it.
Right.
They should have
Let
said
it warm up a little bit. Let it warm up.
well, they should have did what they did after the accident, come back and fix the problem.
Right.
They said, we will do this, Mr. President, but we won't do it now.
Right.
Because we cannot risk these people's lives.
Right.
But they chose that, well, maybe we can get it through it.
Yeah.
And
It didn't work. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
And with you understanding all that, even just having an engineer's mindset, there are things that has to be done, or this thing is gonna fail. It's gonna fail.
Well, that takes me back to like what the Boy Scouts. See, that's the Boy Scout in me.
Right.
When I look at things that I'm working on, I want to work on, I put it to that criteria. Is it trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, or reverent? How does it fit? Even now, if you want a shorter one, Rotary. The Rotary Club is also a great
Okay.
club. Rotary is still kind of more of a business network. I consider it more of a business network, but they do great things in the community and great things in the world.
Right.
It's a worldwide organization. The core values of Rotary are: is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So you take the Boy Scouts, and most people can't remember all of that, but those 4 principles, if you just apply those 4 principles to the things that you do, and that's how we say it, of all the things we say and do, is it the truth? 1, is it the truth?
Right.
2, will it build goodwill and better friendship? See, that's we got stuff out here to help guide people, and if you use those 4 principles and apply it to the things that you do, it will help you stay on the right path.
Right.
Because it will also help you eliminate things that just don't quite fit. Something's not right here.
Right.
Now, most people use their intuition, their feeling about things.
Right.
But these are also principles, and we recite that every meeting in Rotary.
I love it.
The whole concept of Lions Clubs is we serve. They're much simpler. We serve, and that's what we do. You'll see Lions Clubs out here doing vision screening in the schools. In our area, we do vision screening in the schools. And if you lived in Virginia, one of the Lions Club members probably has done screening on your kid at some point, because we start at 6 all the way up to 12.
Okay.
We've even started a program in Virginia. This is new.
Yeah.
We are screening kids 1 to 5
Okay.
because they're not being screened for hearing.
Gotcha.
In fact, they're not being screened to vision either. So we're doing both.
That's
We're
good.
screening kids now from 1 to 5.
Do they still do that in public schools?
In public schools,
They still do it.
But see, here's the thing: it doesn't start till you're about 5.
Gotcha.
Then they start doing the screening.
'Cause I had a lot of hearing issues growing. Lots of hearing issues. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, I had tubes and all of that stuff. Horrible hearing.
Now, in your recollection, when did it start?
So I remember my dad saying to my mom, "I don't think that boy can hear." Literally, those are his words. This is the stories I've heard. I don't think that boy can hear. And she kind of blew it off. And then he was kind of adamant about it. And she took me in, started having me tested. And it was, all the way through high school. I had tubes periodically all the way through high school. Had my tonsils removed because they thought that was part of it. It was a long journey. So
Yeah.
yeah, what you're talking about is a real thing.
Yeah.
And so you saying this on here, hopefully people will act sooner instead of waiting until they're in school.
We have Lions Clubs up here who
Earlier.
can help do this.
Yeah,
'Cause
earlier.
we're
Yeah,
encouraging
yeah.
them to do this.
Yeah.
As I said, I've been a district governor out of 256 of us in the entire world,
Yeah.
leading districts all over the world. And I tell you that we're trying to get this to be a worldwide thing.
Right.
Kids are left on their own at 6 months. They go out into the world, and unless a parent like your parents picks up on the problem,
Right.
because something is not right,
Yeah, yeah.
they don't really know what
Yeah.
it is, and you can't tell them.
Yeah, and it's funny. He said that he would call me like to get my attention for whatever, and I would just seemingly ignore him.
Right.
And he said, because that's not who I am as a person, especially as a kid. You don't ignore your
Right.
parents. I don't think that boy is hearing me versus he's ignoring me.
Right,
He's not
exactly.
hearing. And the fact that he acknowledged that and recognized it and noticed it, now that you mentioned it, there may be similar situations going on.
Yes.
And now they're going to be like, oh, he can't hear me.
That's
You know?
correct.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
So
good.
This is a gap
Yeah.
that has been left, and I'm just shocked that we've done all this other stuff and we've left a gap in our society that kids come out of their prenatal care at 6 months, and they don't really get seriously tested until approximately around 5 years old.
Right.
That period in between, we're missing people like
Right.
have problems like you
Right.
had.
Right.
And your dad was. I have to give Joe an extra plug.
Yeah, that's not my dad.
Oh, okay.
That's my mom's new
That's
husband.
your husband. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But see, your dad was.
Yeah, he was on it. He was on it. He was
He
on
was
it.
on it to be able to pick up on that way. But a lot of parents do not.
Yeah, and it's not their fault. They're just
No,
hadn't
it's
been
not a fault.
trained, not thinking about it.
Well, that's why we do
trying to
what
make
we're doing now.
That's right, right.
We're trying to make you, the
Yeah.
public, aware.
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, there are kids out here who have these kind of problems. There aren't any testing done except right now. They do a little testing in Minnesota. Their program doesn't start till 3 though. So
Right.
if you're between that 1 to 3 period,
Right.
they could miss you, but they might pick it up in Minnesota at 3.
Gotcha.
We in Virginia are starting at 1 to 5.
Oh wow,
See, we're
That's good.
starting earlier.
That's good.
To try to identify, and it's what they call an OAE type of piece of equipment. It is designed to use for kids that are newborn. They cannot give you a
They can't
response.
communicate like that. Yeah.
So the testing tests your eardrums, and it can determine whether the
If it's receiving a
eardrum
signal.
is functional and
Wow.
it's creating the vibration.
Yeah.
It can't test the cognitive yet
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you're not.
Yeah, yeah.
So they're just testing the mechanics.
That the mechanics part of it is working.
And that would have worked for you.
Yes. Yes.
Now, so you weren't identified at birth then.
No. It was, I guess, coming up, the lack of responses, appropriate responses for the situations, I think, what made him
See,
notice.
almost all states, in fact, all the states right now do
Mm-hmm.
the testing at birth.
Right. Oh, wow.
They do testing.
Okay,
At birth.
okay.
And there is a statistic about how many kids, like 1 in 1,000 or 3 in 1,000, it's identified at birth.
Gotcha.
But see, if you're not tested in birth and then it develops a little later, that's what the problem. It won't be detected the way our systems are set up right now until approximately 5 when you go into school. Then they test you and they say, oh, this person has a hearing.
So this test that they do at birth, is it an elective or is it just
no,
automatically?
that's going to be done. That's
automatically
hospital
done.
procedure.
Oh, wow, that's
Now, if you're
good.
born-
That's good.
Now, see, I just thought about this. If you were born at home or like,
Then you won't get that, obviously.
You
Yeah.
would not get that.
Yeah.
And if people that are born like that are probably not going to regular doctors
Right.
either.
Right.
No, they're not.
So how long have they been doing this non-elected test? How
A long time.
long time? Okay.
Long time. So,
Did I get that?
that's
I'm-
a good question.
'Cause what I'm saying is, in my time, I was born in '69. Were they doing it back then, or this is maybe the '80s?
That's something I'll take to AI.
Okay.
Because I
Yeah.
love
I do too.
figuring out stuff.
People
So-
think I'm weird because I use AI. I talk to it where it can just because I can type it in, or I can just talk to it and it's faster.
Yeah.
They think that's something weird. They think I think that AI is my buddy. It's a tool. It's not my buddy.
It's a tool.
It's just a tool.
That's right.
No different than a hammer or a book or a
That's right.
dictionary.
Exactly.
But I think they think I'm using it as a friend because they get weirded out when I say I talk to AI.
Well, you know, I don't care what you think. Because
Yeah.
I know one thing. Stuff like we just said,
Right.
I can go into my little AI program and say, ask that question.
Right.
And in fact,
I do
this
it all the time.
information that I have here about veterans' problems,
Right.
I got that off of my AI program.
Exactly.
Because that program goes through all the books.
That's right.
It's looking at all the
Yep.
libraries. It's looking at all the journals that people in colleges have written all these
These papers, these theses. yeah.
papers, theses, and all this stuff. It's looking through all of that. It compiles all that, and it's giving me a beautiful group of ideas about
Yeah.
what are the physical indicators. Of
So do
suicide.
you think your generation that AI is foreign to your generation? Because I don't think you're the norm. I really don't.
I'm not normal.
I don't think you're the norm. You are you break the mold of you're a baby boomer. Most baby boomers shy away from technology, and I think it could be your training, obviously your military training. So it gave you a way of thinking. When
Well,
you think
what gave
differently
me
than
my
your
way
generation.
of thinking?
So this is not your generation. This is not the norm
It is
that
not.
you have this.
It was my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. My mom was the example of, number one, unconditional love. that's the best way I can describe my mom. She was a very religious person and raised me in the church and all that. But what I really learned from my mom is unconditional love.
Okay.
My dad was a metaphysician. He liked to delve into what are we beyond our physical selves.
Right.
What are we as individuals psychologically
Right.
and all that. And so he had a lot of these books laying around, Psycho-Cybernetics by
Okay.
Max Maltz, The Power of Positive Thinking
Yeah.
by Novell, and all this, a lot of books like that. I started reading all these books, and it impacted me
Right.
to the point where it created a curiosity in me about, wow, what is this life that
Yeah.
I'm living here?
Yeah.
Because I would go to school and I'd be sitting at lunch. I said, guys, did you know that this glass was just an image in the mind of somebody
Right.
at one time? And now look at it, it's here.
So what happens is when you have that kind, because I have that kind of mindset about a lot of things, and you're often on an island by yourself.
Yeah.
And you're a lot of times you can be lonely because they don't share your interest or they can't see what
Right.
you see. It's not a diss. It's not a diss. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
We think very. I don't want to use deeply because I don't want it to be misinterpreted that I'm trying to say I'm something better than them. No, I look at everything as, man, why does this flame exist? You know,
Right.
Okay, you need heat, you need oxygen. You know what I mean?
Right.
Most people go, it's a flame. They don't really care why it's there, how it came to be. They don't care, and I think that's where people like us
Yes,
are different.
yeah.
And that can be lonely because they're like, you weird, dude.
Well-
Who cares?
I've never, once I understood what it was, and then the thing is, if you do participate in the religious arena, they're kind of telling you this all the time, except for one thing. You have the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament teaches basically God as outside of you. The New Testament attempts to try to get you to realize that it's in
That's
you,
me. That's how I believe.
but it's still too confusing.
It is. It is.
And
It is.
there's a tendency not for people not even to want to accept it because
That's
they don't
right.
feel they're worthy.
That's right. That's right.
See, you are not only worthy, my friend. You are see, I guess that's Wayne Dyer. I brought Wayne Dyer to Cedar Rapids one time. He and Deepak Chopra.
Okay. Okay.
For those guys.
Okay.
Because I wanted their message to
Yeah.
be, and
Right.
I talked my Unity Church into help sponsor, and I just did the promotion part of it. But one of the things that they were saying, a lot of people think that they are a physical, they think they're a physical being. I've got to get it right. Physical being having a spiritual experience.
Right.
Where in reality, we are a spiritual being
Right.
having a physical
Right.
experience. Therefore, we do have something that goes beyond here.
Right. Right.
This is not all it is.
Right.
If we don't eat some of the physical stuff that we have here, we can't even
Right.
stay here.
Right.
If we don't breathe, what is air?
Right. Right.
You
Right.
know, that's
Right.
to me. And see, the thing about you got to know that this is not it because trillions of cells make up these bodies, and they're growing and dying continually.
And regenerate. Yeah.
Continually.
What is it? Every 5 to 7 years? I think every 7 years they say you're a completely different person because you've regenerated everything.
That's why I read Deepak Chopra, Ageless Body, Timeless Mind.
Right.
Still a good book to
Right.
read. In that book, he says, and I was a 7-year person when I read it.
Okay.
When I finished reading that book, I was a 2-year or less person.
Okay. Okay.
Your body totally regenerates every part in
Every 2 years.
under 2 years.
Okay.
You have a new stomach lining every 5 days. That's the only way we can eat all
Yeah,
the
because it would.
stuff we eat.
It would eat itself. It would eat itself up if it wasn't replaced.
The skeleton, break a bone. How long does it take for that to heal?
Typically, from my understanding, about 6 weeks. Is that not right?
3 months
3 months.
for a total regeneration of the skeletal system. So your whole
Wow.
skeleton system is regenerating itself over a 3-month period.
Wow. Wow.
So it's nothing about us that's
Right.
stagnant.
Right.
Like we think, well, I got the same old body. Not really.
Right.
You choose to have
Right.
it, but you don't have to
Right.
keep it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm on a different thing.
Yeah. Man, let me tell you, your energy, the way you move, just your whole vibe, it's just different. It's different. I wanted to ask you something before I forget. I noticed you always wear a jacket.
Yeah.
I think it's very distinguishing. Is there a reason why you always wear a jacket?
This jacket, the only reason I wore this jacket today is because I kind of, all right, this right up here is the Paul Harris Award.
Okay.
This is my honor of Paul Harris, who created Rotary. I also have the Lions Club.
Okay.
Because Melvin Jones, right in Chicago. Both those two guys are in Chicago, too.
Okay.
Created two of the largest service organizations in the entire world.
Okay.
We're at 1.39 members for Lions Club, worldwide. I can go anywhere in the world, and I can find a lion. And Rotary, we're about 1.24 members worldwide. 49,000 clubs in the Lions Club and about 45,000 clubs in Rotary. I mean, that's why I wear the jacket. Otherwise, but I was prepared to not have to wear a jacket. So, but I like my purples. and
Okay.
Stuff like
Because
that.
I guess the few times I've met you've always wore a jacket.
Yeah.
And some people wear a jacket for a significant reason.
Yeah,
a
I
different reason. Some people wear a bow tie for certain people. Some people wear a uniform for a certain reason.
Right.
So the jacket has no reason.
Not
but
really.
The pendants.
It's occasion.
Gotcha. Okay.
For something like this, yeah, I would wear a jacket.
Gotcha.
This because I'm just trying to be as presentable and
you let me tell you something. Your vibe, your articulation. You can come in here in some shorts. and you just got it, brother. You just got it. There's another older gentleman, really good friend of mine. Their dad.
Yeah.
Your aura, the way you move. His name is Abdul Shaker, and man, that gentleman's just scholarly. I love it. I'm telling you, y'all inspire me. You really do. You two inspire me, and so it is my pleasure to have you here. And spread this wealth of knowledge to the community.
well, you ought to pull these guys together. This is what I'm working on in my community right now. Is like we got some young brothers that got great businesses. We got. I was looking. I'm the only minority on the scouting. I'm on the Boy Scout or the Scouting America Council board. I'm the only one. I want to change this. I am going to change this. I'm not because we need representation.
And see that right there, the fact that that means something to you, coming from a black man, that matters to you. You could take the position. It doesn't matter that it's not many blacks on this. It does matter.
It matters.
It does matter because you're trying to reach out to our community as well. If they have the knowledge, cool. I don't want them not to have the knowledge. But if we don't have the knowledge and you can represent the knowledge by saying, hey, I'm here, I'm in this. You should do this too, or you can do this. That is a salute, brother, because a lot of people, they won't do what you do. That wouldn't matter that it's not many brothers on and it does matter.
It matters a lot, and that's why I'm still out here in the fight.
I know that's
I
right.
don't really like to use the word fight.
Hey, what?
Like I actually, another caveat. I moved back to Virginia in 2002, and I'm just checking out. My community's changed so much, and I'm checking it out. And I noticed that we have a U.S. congressman for our Congress, 6th District of Virginia. And so I asked the local people, I said, how long has this guy been in there? They said, he's been in there about 8-9 years.
Okay.
I said, what's he doing? Well, he shows up, but
Not really doing anything.
he's not like us.
Right. Exactly. And that matters.
That matters.
I love it too. You being from a generation, I'm a Xer, you're a boomer. And the fact that you are not kowtowing, you're not an angry brother, but at the same time, you're not going to skirt your responsibility to our community. Hey, there's things that can be done.
Yes.
There's things that only we will probably push. And you're that guy to get it done. I love it, brother. I love it.
We've got to end the day on
I love it.
something. I want you to understand out there that the military service guys needs your help
Right.
to help deal with this problem of veteran suicide.
Right.
Because we can't do it by ourselves because we're not seeing them.
Right.
And they're not coming to us because I tried reaching out and we had these seminars for them. They didn't show up.
Right.
And I thought, why? It's because in their state of mind,
Right.
we need somebody that's connected to them to say,
To grab them.
I understand. Yeah, now I can see. Brother, and so there are resources. There are places you can go in your community.
Mm-hmm.
You can look this up on Google and whatever. Become familiar with those places. You find one of these brothers, please refer them
Right.
or talk to them, and because we're going to have to use everything.
And now that you gave them some of the things to look for,
Yes.
more people will see it. They probably saw it now in hindsight. They're like, oh, that's the brother I was talking to the other day, or last year, or last month. Yes. Now that you put the information out.
But here's the other caveat. You just retired not how long?
3 years, almost 3 years ago.
3 years ago. See, we have a lot of people who are now retired. This is your greatest opportunity because I know a lot of people. I'm going to travel the world. Right. Well, you're going to get tired of that.
Yeah. I did that a lot when I first retired. That first year, we was everywhere.
Lord,
we was
then you realize that ain't it.
Right, yeah.
I've seen enough of that. What is it, though, is that you, as you're doing right now, which you're helping me spread the word,
Right.
is find something in your community, some way to give back
Right.
to your community through Lions, through Rotary, through the VFW, your association, your Firemen's Association.
Right.
Find, and you can join the Lions and
Right.
Rotary for that matter, but find the organizations in your community and give back. I just gave a talk at a Veterans Appreciation for Veterans Day up in Blacksburg, Virginia, where Virginia Tech is.
Okay.
And my message was, yeah, we served our country, but we ain't done yet.
I love it. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it, Andre. Oh.
Hey, soldier, everybody do your part. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.